And we're live.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of MSATP TV. Joining me this morning is Mark Riedman and Connie Hess from USB Payment Processing Center. They're here to talk about a new product that they have, and we're going to get started with that. But Connie, first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, good morning, Bill. Thank you. My name is Connie Hess, and I am with USB Payment Processing, and I am spearheading their strategic partnership program, working with our banks and credit unions and CPA firms and bookkeepers to develop products that they can use for their clients. And we currently have about 12 community banks and credit unions that we are working on and working with, and several CPA firms. And my background is actually banking. I spent over 40 years in the banking industry, retiring at the end of 2020, and came on board with USB because of my banking background. And frankly, USB was my merchant processor for the last 15 years of my banking career, and they handled all of my clients' credit card processing needs.
Okay. And Mark, do you have anything you want to tell us about yourself?
No, I mean, obviously, Bill, you and I have been doing this for many, many years. We've been with the MSATP for, I want to say, 6 or 7 years now,
Right.
as a corporate sponsor. We've brought Connie on because of her long history of banking, and we had such a great relationship with her within all the banks that she had been with prior to in the last 15 years, that we thought she would be a huge asset to bring on to our company, to be able to not only continue with our banking relationships the way she can, or actually the way we did, but she knows quite a bit more about the banking industry than we do personally. So for us to bring it on was a great partnership for her to come on. And at the same time, now we've got her involved with, like I said, with the CPAs and the bookkeepers, because again, she's got many different options that we have for you guys and for your clients to utilize our services that they may not have taken advantage of over the last couple of years.
Okay. So what is merchant as a service?
Well, basically, USB understands the cash flow and payment acceptance are some of the most important aspects of every business, and that most businesses are relying on their accounts and bookkeepers for their expertise in that area. And so what we developed was Merchant as a Service, which is a product that we offer to our CPA and bookkeeper partners, which adds a tool to their suite of products to provide an audit and education component to their clients that are taking credit cards as a means of payment. Often merchants taking credit cards, but have never really been taught the best practices as it relates to taking credit cards as a payment. And as a result of that, they are experiencing fees that they need not pay simply because they're not processing in the most cost-effective way. So we feel strongly that education is a huge component of what we do. And so we work with our CPA partners to provide that annual audit and the education that goes along with that to their clients. And we've termed it Merchant as a Service. It really is a service we want to provide to our CPAs.
Okay. Well, why would a tax professional or a bookkeeper want to be involved in such a product?
That's a great question, because most of the time the business owners, the businesses that they service, they don't know where to go to get information. They don't necessarily even know that what they don't know. And
Right.
really often, are relying on their accountant or their bookkeeper to help them manage that cash flow, and also to look for cost, effective expense reduction when necessary. So that's why we really are reaching out to the bookkeepers and the tax preparers and the CPAs, because that's a sticky product that can keep that client married to you. You're offering a service to them that they're not getting anywhere else. And generally, the service that you're offering that we do behind the scenes is going to garner your customer a cost savings. So again, that is going to make you the hero.
Yep. And Bill, to add to that, most customers, when they're taking credit cards, all believe they have the best rates. They believe they've negotiated the best rates with their company that they're with. And we go in there, and a lot of times they're very hesitant in showing us what their statements show and what they're paying. They may have negotiated a great rate at that time, but rates go up every single year, usually 1 or 2 times a year. And at the same time, the best rates are only good if you're using best practices. So if you're not
Correct.
following the best rules to engage in those best rates, you could have the lowest rate possible, but when you don't do the right things, those rates just go up on your statement. What we do and what Connie's talking about is educating the customer and educating the accountant or the bookkeeper of how to get those best rates and how to keep the rates where they're supposed to be, as opposed to having the rates go up every single month based on how you input your information. So it's a huge learning curve that most customers don't have any clue about. And until we go and actually educate them, they're just doing it the way that they're just assuming, swipe the card, enter the amount, hit it, and hit go. They don't think that they have to enter any more information. And in a lot of the cases, if you enter a little bit of information, your rates will stay down where they're supposed to be, as opposed to being surcharged for additional fees that you probably don't need to pay. But again, it's all about education, and that's what we do.
Okay. So what does our client need to provide to you in order to do this audit?
They would need to provide to us a couple of months of their merchant statements. And actually they could provide that, you could provide that to us through you if you wanted us to stay behind the scenes. And so really what we need is we need to know the industry type, and we need to see the average ticket size. And that's what we garner from them the statements. The statements will also tell us the types of cards that are being taken, the method by which the merchant is taking credit cards, because depending on how they take credit cards is also factoring into their fees. And then from that, we can do a side-by-side comparison and provide them with education on the best practices for their particular industry. And I might mention, Bill, that there are certain industries that just by nature of what they are, their NACIS code, they are afforded by MasterCard and Visa a lesser interchange rate. A lot of folks are not aware of that. A lot of salespeople that are selling merchant services are not aware of that. And so as part, that's why I say the industry type is important, because that is going to help us determine if your customer is even coded properly for their industry. They may be able to get a lesser interchange rate just by changing a NACIS code. So there's a lot we can get from those statements.
Okay. Now, does USB contact the merchant directly?
We do not. This product is really designed for us to work with you and then you to your client. So really we stay behind the scenes unless our partner wants us to reach out directly to the client, and we certainly are happy to do that. With our bank partners, we always are being directed to reach out directly to the client because the bank is selling merchant services as a bank product. So they want us to reach out directly to their client. But often our CPAs would prefer us to work with them, and then they go to their client and present the audit results. But we can do it we can reach out to them if the bookkeeper or the CPA wants us to.
And Bill,
Okay.
if a client, if one of the CPAs or bookkeepers would like us to come out and meet with their client at the same time, so we're explaining it to both of them at the same time and educating them both, we're more than happy to do that too. It doesn't just have to be done by phone or Zoom. We can actually go out now and visit with those clients. So if they want to meet at the accountant's office, we can do it there. If the accountant doesn't want to be involved and wants us to deal with directly with the client, as Connie said, more than happy to do that. And again, most of the accountants that we've met with throughout the years through the MSATP, almost every one of them has directed me, once I've given them all the numbers, they want me to explain it to the client.
Right.
And sometimes we've done it with them and sometimes without.
Okay. Now, how often do you use the service?
It really
I mean, is this like a once a year type? type
A lot
process?
of times it can be an annual. We do recommend at minimum that we at least review with the client annually, because what happens, Bill, is we will educate them on best practices, show them the most cost-effective way to do things. But what happens a lot of times is I'm busy, I'm running my business, and I have a personnel change, and I may not necessarily relay those best practices during that training process, and then we're reverting back to using not best practices. So most accountants, bookkeepers, whatnot, are looking at their cash flow management for their client once a year. Some accountants are actually doing it quarterly or semi-annually. And we suggest that when you are doing your cash flow management or financial review with your customer, however often that is, that you include this audit as part of that, because it really is part and parcel to an overall financial health of a business.
Right. Now, do you offer this service for both your customers as well as non-customers, or is this the kind of thing that they would need to be a customer of yours in order
No,
to reap the
we
benefit?
offer this service to any client of yours. Obviously, we believe that through that education and through the audit process that we will find a number of areas of savings, and hopefully that will attract the customer to bring their business to us. But at the end of
Sure.
it's really the education component that is driving this product. And so if your client does not want to leave their, particular merchant provider, they can still use this tool as a negotiating point with their current provider.
And we can
Okay.
actually can help
We're
them.
not requiring them to become a customer. We think that they will, because we are giving them, valuable tool and valuable information, but they certainly don't have to.
And Bill,
Right.
we have some clients that we can't switch because they're using certain type of software or something like that.
Correct.
At that point, what we'll do is we'll kind of go through, still do the audit, but we'll educate them on where we know their savings. And we actually have another part of our company at USB that can actually do the negotiating for them to lower their rates as well with their current company. So if
Okay.
for some reason they're tied to their current company and they cannot switch, we can help them that way as well.
Okay. And as far as the merchant services go, I know that we've discussed it before and things like that, Mark. But could you just do a real quick explanation of how the interchange fees work?
Sure. So basically, with every credit card, there's something called interchange. There's probably 400 different types of interchange fees between MasterCard and Visa. Every year in April and October, Visa and MasterCard go through the interchange tables and they figure out where they're either technically losing money or where they need to add another interchange table into it, and they put them in there. A lot of the times that what happens is they'll raise certain fees, 1 basis point, 5 basis points, whatever it might be, and that just gets passed along to the customer. As long as it's passed along within the interchange tables, nothing should really change if you're processing through us. Now, what happens is our competitors, what they do is they take those interchange tables, and if you went up, let's say 5 basis points in 2 or 3 of those tables, a lot of the times our competitors will go up 5 basis points in all the tables. So all of a sudden, your rates have gone up 5 basis points across the board, where they should have gone up in one tiny little interchange in one category. And it might not have even affected your business, but because they raised everything, it now affects your business. So we try and make sure the customers understand that just because the interchange is going up in April and October, it doesn't mean that your business is going to be necessarily affected. Now, with us, that is the case, and we were able to figure that out and drive those numbers back down. With our competitors, they're always looking for a reason to raise rates, because the higher they go, the more money that our competitors make.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about your program here?
No, I think that if anybody is interested in it, they can certainly reach out to me. How do I send my contact information, Bill?
Right here. Why don't you tell them how to get in touch with you
Okay.
by email and your phone?
Okay, so my email address is chess, HESS like Sam, at usbne.com. And my phone is 410 828-4286, or I am always reachable on my cell phone, which is 410-294-8144. And again, this product is really designed to work directly with the accountant, the CPA, the bank, the tax preparer. If you want us to work with your customer, we're happy to do that, but we really feel that this is a value add for our accountants. It's the tool that really helps to tie your client to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And Mark, thank you for joining us this morning.
Bill, thank you again. We love being a corporate sponsor of MSATP. We've got tons of customers through the MSATP, and we like to help each and every one of them as well as their clients. Anytime you need us, please let us know. If there's any CPA or bookkeeper that needs help with a client or just has a question or concern, please do not hesitate to contact us. We're here and available to help.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure having you as one of our corporate sponsors. I'm enjoying our relationship. So thank you all very much for joining us this morning, and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another edition of MSATP TV. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Have a great
Thanks,
night.
Bill.
You too.
Bye-bye.